Alright, hello again folks. Apparently the stream just crashed. What I was trying to say is that we're going to continue with Galactic Civ 3 from yesterday. I'm not sure why this game keeps crashing. It might be a case where I'm trying to broadcast at too high of a resolution. In fact, I think I might try to adjust that right now. Let me see if I can adjust. It's probably because I'm trying to broadcast at a too high of a resolution. What are we at? Broadcast settings. Not this one. Hi David, welcome. It's probably this one, the max at 1500. This worked fine. See, this worked fine for Civ 4, but I think that it doesn't work well. I think it's too much for this game. Let's set it to 1000. And see if that fixes it. And then I'll go back to 1500 for Civ 4. Let's try that. This may or may not work. We'll just find out. Hopefully that'll stop crashes from taking place. But anyway, welcome. As I said, I was introducing this before we already had a crash. In yesterday's session, I was able to run a fantastic land grab with the Thalans and grab pretty much every planet on the map. The Iconians have 3. They start with 2 in their home system, and they had another planet appear when they took a ideology policy. The Drengans start with 2 in their home world. They have 2. The Yor start with 1 planet in their home world. They have 1, and I have 11, which has kind of made this game a bit of a joke almost. But as I said, it's not the worst thing in the world. We can just, chill and have an enjoyable, relaxing game, which is what we're going to be going for. All right, so Arnhelm has finished its infrastructure here, and on some of my research planets, I should probably get one of these thulium data archives, but can come back to that. Anyway, so you go over to research. Wow, even this little planet can get 47 beakers. And wait, what's a port of call? Oh, it's a tourism one. Tourism kind of sucks in this game. And we'll queue up the cultural festival just to let us know that we're building stuff. All right, anyway, so yeah, here's a constructor. This one is going to go for an economic starbase. And I'm going to put it as far in this direction as possible so that I get additional range from the starbase. Alright. So, economic ring. So you have to set what type. You can pick military, economic, cultural. I think that's it. There might be one more. All starbases can always build defenses, and they can always put scanners. The scanners are pretty pointless though, because why would you want +3 sensor range when you could build a sensor ship that can move and has 20 sensor range? It's kind of silly. Alright, so we'll get the economic one, and now we can build bonus to production, bonus to morale, bonus to gross income, which is gold, credits, whatever you want to call it. And these looks like the Iconians are 5. So here's another little complaint, minor, but the Iconian color is way too similar to the pirate color. And look at the icon. See in the do you see in the top left-hand corner how the Iconians have that little flower-like symbol? But it's like silver, and then the pirates have like a triangle symbol. They're very similar. I mean, okay, the symbol's not, but the color is almost identical. So yeah, they're kind of hard to tell apart. I wish that they had made the Iconian color a little bit more distinctive. Anyway, kind of a minor thing. The big thing is when this Gaia Vortex finishes, we're going to get a huge bonus in every colony, because that thing's really overpowered. So yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to tech up, and then we're just going to kill all of our opponents, except probably Iconia. I think we can ally with them, because we have great relations with them. Wow, we researched that tech in 1 turn? Seriously? That was a 1-turn tech? Jeez. Alright. Wow, everything's a 1-turn tech. Yeah, our research has kind of taken off at this point. 400 beakers. Alrighty. Okay. So we took research specialization. What does this one do? Boost the research of all your colonies. What the? Is this for real? Boost research of all colonies by 50%? That sounds incredibly broken. So let's grab it, shall we? I think I'm starting to see why people say that the Thalan tech tree is so ridiculously overpowered. 1 per player. What does this one do? Jeez. This isn't one per colony, is it? No, one per player. Okay. One per player. Yeah, this race is, like, way overpowered. Yeah, this thing is ridiculous. Boost the research of all colonies by plus 50% and plus 5 adjacency bonus. That's pretty absurd. Oh, also, by the way, we finished the Gaia Vortex, so that's... Look at this thing. So that's plus 4 raw production on every world. And it's giving a huge bonus to all the other planets. Look at this. That's a lot of production right there. Yeah. So every planet gets the plus... Hold on, I want to scroll through my planets. So every planet is now getting plus 8 raw production. Where is it? Yeah, look at this. Okay, so Gaia Vortex plus 4. Hive plus 4. Colony Capital plus 5. Civ Capital plus 5. So the population is only... Like, the population is only 7.6, but it's getting double that from the Gaia Vortex and the Hive. That's ludicrously overpowered. So, yeah, your planets just get unbelievably strong in short order. Alrighty, yeah, so we can build stuff at a ridiculous rate here. Yeah, their racial population penalty is supposed to counterbalance that, but it doesn't. It really doesn't. They need significantly more penalties if they are going to be... Yeah, this tech tree, okay, so like I've heard people saying that their tech tree is unbalanced, but this is the first time I've seen it in operation, and it really is pretty ludicrous. Alright, let's just get that at 100%, shall we? There we go. This is pretty sad. Yeah, it's like I said, this game is really cool and all that. I was like, look, because of all these bonus... Alright, so like Baba Yetu is a little planet, right? Planet class 7. This is a weak little planet. I have no research labs on this planet at all. I don't have anything that boosts research on this planet. And yet it's still producing 41 beakers because it gets so... Like, look, the raw production is 30 on this planet. 30. That's equivalent to having... What? So you get 5? You get 5 from having the colony capital. And then it's plus population. I mean, this is like getting 8 population for free on this world. That's just ludicrous. So that's why my research is so high here. Jeez. Anyway, so yeah. Building infrastructure, research. Jeez, look at the research. I don't know why manufacturing just got adjusted there. Research 120. Research 34. Research 53. This planet's not especially great either. So, like, we just explode in research, and there's not much anyone can do here. Alright. Net income... How much are we making right now? Alright, 12 per turn, so we can go back to money bin. Alright, so I can cut money by 12. Get more production. Alright, that works. Because we're still... -1, that's fine. Alright, anyway... yeah. Like I said, it just got silly. Even, like, this little planet, Armhelm, you know, this is producing 60 beakers per turn. Jurassic World's producing 32. Alright, so, yeah. All this is really silly. So we'll get... Wow, and this is 1-turn research as well? Jeez. That's just crazy. Anyway, so... I guess we just go back to building constructors for the time being. Oh, no, wait. I built... let's get another sensor ship. So, I just built 2 sensor ships. This one's going over here. Make sure there's no fog on the map. This one can come down here for the border of Iconian space. We'll get another one. I have another one over here. And we'll see. The game's lagging again. Dirty Tech is out researching your all on its own. It probably is. Alright, so how much of the map can we see right now? A good portion, but we probably need 2 more sensor ships to be able to see the entire map. Which we might as well do, because why not? Why not be able to see the entire map? Alright, so this planet, let's get a shipyard for this planet. Which takes 1 turn. And we'll go from there. Yeah, I don't even really have anything to do with this much production. Like research, you can always do stuff with more research, but... And the Iconians are helpfully killing the pirates around me. That's nice. Alright, Haley. Assign. And we'll assign... that's fine. Alright, so we built a shipyard here, which means we can now build stuff here. So I guess you might as well put that production towards shipbuilding. And we might as well build constructors, I guess. There's not really anything else to build right now. We can't build any military ships. We built the freaking... We researched this in 1 turn, so yeah. I guess we might as well go for advanced construction. That'll allow me to build the manufacturing capital at the home world. And also upgrade to mega factories. So we'll do that. That also takes 1 turn to research. So what's my best research world? Let me just scroll through quickly to see what the best research world is. Probably Dirty Tech. The world of Dirty Tech. Yeah, so this is what we want. And the production's pretty solid here too. Okay, so we want to build this. Alright, so scrap that. Build the Hyperion Matrix right here. Later on we'll be able to terraform over here. So for the moment, manufacturing. Let's see how long that's going to take. Not too long. 6 turns. Alright, not too bad. And then that'll boost research by 50% on every planet, which is again pretty ludicrous. So yeah. Works for me. Alright. Down here... Alright, you sit on the border with Drengen Space and reveal that part of the map. And we've got yet another one of these ships, another sensor ship. So you, I don't know. Where's the other sensor ship? Over here, okay. Middle of the map, I guess. Somewhere in the middle of the map. Something like that. So yeah, this game really neat. Like, the tools are there for this game to be really good, but it's just not balanced very well right now. It's the problem. Alright, turn. Like, they've got a colony ship running around. Or I guess it's a trade ship, never mind. Alright, well, that was another 1-turn research. So, yeah, we got that. I'd like to go for the technological adaptation soon, too. Improve manufacturing capacity. What does that do? Manufacturing plus 15%? What is this? Manufacturing plus 15. Doesn't say what this thing does. Maintenance minus 15. Manufacturing cost minus 15. Oh, manufacturing plus 15. Cost minus. Well, that doesn't... This feels like it's better. I do want to go for the research one, but my planets are going to be building the factories, so it's kind of silly to go for that one next. Where's the morale stuff that I can get? Because free morale... Actually, you know what I can go for? I can go for the raw production plus 10% up here. That's pretty good too. And Populist Party is also really nice. Why don't we hit the top side of the tree then? Diplomacy plus 1, influence growth. Let's go for the influence growth. Why not? That'll be fun. Have they tried to balance the Thalans? Not that I've heard of so far. I don't know. I think they're still trying to... I mean, they haven't even solved basic infrastructure bug. Yeah, like basic infrastructure bugs yet, so... I haven't seen too much evidence of that. Alright, so we can now build mega factories. And I'm going to put the manufacturing capital right here, so let's upgrade these. These mega factories cost 67 production. So let's just 1 turn. You can't build them faster than 1 per turn, so we'll just put 69 in production there. Alright, so upgrade all of these. And then when you're done, we'll put the manufacturing capital. And that'll probably get me to about 350 production per turn at Thala. Alright. Let's upgrade that. So our research will be slowed here for a short time as we upgrade everything. Apparently McFly was still building stuff. Interesting. Yeah, I don't need to upgrade that. Morale's great. Dirty Tech. Oh, our Dirty Tech's building the Hyperion Matrix. You know what? Let's do the mega factories first. It says 2 turns. Geez, it's at 66.2 and they cost 67. Well, you do get overflow in this game. Hold on. Can I get to 67? No. That's a shame. 66.2. Well, the second one will only take 1 turn. Alright. This planet has no factories on it. So we'll do social 1. Again, do the factories first because then the later infrastructure is faster to build after that. Alright. Ah, what the heck? That's not where I clicked. Money Bin is kind of a special case. It's still building its shopping centers. But we'll still slot in the mega factories. See, this planet has to run the economy, which is why its production is kind of slow. Alright, Arnhem only has 1 factory, so this will be a short upgrade cycle here. Same at Jurassic World, which only has 1 thing to upgrade. Haley has a lot of stuff to upgrade. That's okay, though. Alright, same thing. We need 67 production to upgrade. There we go. 70. Okay, so we'll be working on that for a while. What's our budget? Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, so we dropped down to 37 research, which is okay. Wait, which planet is actually getting research? So, continue upgrading the star bases. There we go. That'll boost the income of Money Bin here. Or it will next turn when that actually goes through. Okay, here's another constructor. Wait, is that one of my star bases? What is this one here? Oh, it's just the Xeno lab for the culture relic. Alright. Let's at least grab the resources in there. So, as I said, it's a pretty quiet turn. Not going to be... The AI is, like, terrified to fight me, and with good reason. Oh no! The Yor have decided they want to get frisky. Well, bring it on if you want to fight. I mean, I know I currently have absolutely no military ships whatsoever, but that won't be the case for very long. Especially if they try to start something. Alright, idle ship. Yeah, this ship can just, like, go to sleep in this area. Alright, just hang out there. Oh, by the way, we still, even with everything turned off, we still research that tech super fast. I think that was mostly overflow. Okay, so yeah, this one gives raw production plus 10%, which is, again, really nice. This is if we wanted to go for an influence victory, we'd push culture, or influence, whatever you want to call it. Alright, what can I still upgrade here? Just keep pumping up this star base, because why not? There's really nothing for my shipbuilding worlds to do right now, so I'm just having them pump out constructors for star bases, because, as I said, there's not really anything else for them to do. Alright, so we'll get a star base for the home world. Pump this one up. Why not? Economic. Alright, so I think a bunch of the mega factories will be finishing after this turn. We'll take a look at the colonies again. Alright, so as you can see, there's basically no fog anywhere in my territory now. We can see the whole map. Look at that. Put down a starbase right in the middle of my influence. Really quite silly. So again, I wish that the game put some limits on the number of star bases. Alright. So that gives even more production to the homeworld. Let's take a look at the colonies, how they're coming along, shall we? So we're just building mega factories here. Manufacturing continues to get more absurd. Alright, mega factory's done here. So back to research for you. Had Bobby yet to. Alright, same thing here. We finished the mega factories. So turn research back on. Alright, see that mega factory is a one-turn build, and then we'll get back to the Hyperion matrix, which will give that ridiculous plus 50% research everywhere. Atlantis still got one more mega factory to build. Same thing here. Havana's building another one. Still building. Alright, so Arnhelm finished its mega factory, so go back temporarily. We're about to need to do an upgrade again, but that'll take a little bit. Alright, go back to research. And Haley is upgrading as well. Okay. This game, I wouldn't say, I mean, this is 56 turns into the game. Honestly, if you look at the tech tree, it's not even mid-game, it's still early game. Like, look where I am on the tech tree. I'm still in, I researched 21 out of the 100 techs in this tree or something like that. It's like, so I'm like at the beginning of the second era. I have not researched hardly anything in the second era, and then there's the whole third era as well. So, like, honestly, this is still kind of early game for some people. I haven't been streaming very long, but this is the second stream session. I was streaming yesterday as well. Okay, so interstellar government. Let's see. Do we need morale? Because I'll grab populist party if I need it, but I don't know if I do. It looks like every planet's at 100% morale, so I think we're good for the time being. All right, so we'll leave that alone. Let's go grab the tier 3 research labs. That would be this tech here. Research Institute, and then we'll have a whole bunch of upgrades to do again. This also gets us the technological capital, which is like a national wonder type thing again. How strong is this faction? Horribly broken, yes. I honestly did not know it was quite this good until I played this game. I'm kind of shocked at how overpowered they made. And it's not even the race itself, it's their tech tree. Every race gets their own tech tree in this game, which is really neat. But for whatever reason, they decided that they'd make the Thalan one extremely overpowered. So what's the notification? What the heck is this? 10% deployments. Here it is. Iconia has built a starbase in our territory. I hate that they can do that too. Not that it really matters. Like, look, this is an enemy starbase, by the way, but see how it's deep in my territory? Yeah. Let's see. So we can pretty much see what's going on there. I guess I need another starbase for this corner, or another censorship for this corner. Build me another censorship for this corner of the map down here. And then that should pretty much do it. They get a lot of bonuses that are like way stronger than they should be. They get bonuses to something called raw production, which basically improves everything, and no one else really gets that. We'll research that tech in one turn too. Okay. I think I'm just going to go for this because it's just a flat plus 10% research everywhere. Sure, why not? Alright, so now it's time to look at the colonies again, because now we've got yet another thing we can build on these planets. We can upgrade research. The production world is not going to change anything, but any planet that has tech labs... Alright, it's like right here, McFly can now build these. Upgrade the research... the Xeno labs into research institutes. Blah. Can't talk. I also want to put the technological capital somewhere. I might put that on this planet. Maybe, we'll see. Alright, so time to go back onto manufacturing again. Get some of these done. Also, I'm going to get terraforming more terraforming down the line too. Alright, let's finish the Hyperion Matrix, then we'll upgrade these after that. Look at that, level 7. Or maybe I should put the, I don't know, maybe I should put the technological capital on this planet. We'll see. Alright, so Deed of Worms can just continue to do research. That's the planet that always is doing research. Alright, here, upgrade these. Upgrade, upgrade, upgrade. Once all these upgrades are done, it's going to be pretty silly. Money Bin's just doing its thing. Still. By the way, Money Bin is going to get the, where is it? The financial center. That'll increase wealth by plus 200% and give a big adjacency bonus. Alright, Arnhelm, upgrade, upgrade, upgrade. You need to go back over to manufacturing to build this. Wow, this planet has no research labs? Well, apparently it doesn't. I'll add more if I get the chance. Alright, so that wasn't too crazy there. Yeah, the hives, the Gaia Vortex, the tech that gives 50% research on every planet. You just wonder sometimes, it's like, what were they thinking when they designed this faction? Or the tech tree, at least. The faction itself is probably fine. It's the tech tree that's caused so many problems. Alright, so this is another censorship. This one I need, well, I don't need, but I want to put down here. So that'll take a while to get down there, but we're not at war. Alright, that works. So I can see all of Iconian space. Guard. Of course, these ships are unarmed, so got to keep that in mind. Alright, oh, and look at this. Now we can construct starbase labs, so we can now increase our research from orbit as well. So we'll be doing some of that. Just keep cranking out those constructors. What are we actually making in terms of money? 0 per turn. Works for me. A tile empty to the left of the hive and money bin. Well, I haven't had a chance to put something down there yet. I'm going to put something there. You're right, I should do that. Look at that, they just tossed down another starbase. Kind of silly. It'll just get swallowed up by my influence, though. It's a good suggestion, though. We should just put down another market on this tile. Because it's always better to add more stuff over upgrading. Just you run out of tiles when you do that. Okay, that is a good suggestion. No, all this stuff is... So there's a whole bunch of stuff that's unique to the Thalan tech tree that's not in other tech trees. Every tech tree has its unique features. The things that are cause so many problems on the Thalan tech tree are this thing called the hive. See how it says raw production plus 4? Raw production is like the base number that then gets modified by everything. And typically it comes from population. Normally you only get raw production from like right here, I'll highlight it. Normally you only get raw production from population. See how it says population effect down at the bottom, plus 8.5? Well, that's because my population is 5 on this planet. So normally that's the only way to increase raw production, is to get more population. But the Thalans have the ability to build a hive that increases this, plus 4. Then they can build something called the Gaia Vortex that gives you another plus 4. And they have buildings that give you research on every planet. It's just really silly. The game files were working. Roadkill, the recordings looked fine for me when I checked them out. So I don't know what, I'm not sure what the issue was. Like when I went and looked at the recordings from yesterday, and they worked fine. I will probably try to put this on YouTube though, and I know a lot of people generally a lot of people have told me that they can't watch on Twitch, but they can watch on YouTube, if that makes sense. So maybe if I put it on YouTube, you'll be able to watch there, I guess. I don't know what else to say. We know that Twitch can be very buggy a lot of the time. Otherwise, yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure what else to say. I don't know why, because it was working fine for me. Sorry about that. And I'll just finish up with this starbase while we're here. And then probably go send the constructors to build another starbase. The raw production bonus needs to be removed. I agree. It should just be a production bonus, not a raw, like a manufacturing bonus, not a raw production bonus. If it was just manufacturing, it would be balanced. So yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so here's another constructor. As I said, we're just using these to build star bases, basically because there's nothing else to do on these planets. I don't have a design. I don't have a military design yet because my worlds are too busy building other stuff. Are we done here? Yeah, done upgrading here. Not here. So like, we're almost done with this Hyperion matrix, and then our research is just going to explode everywhere. That's like turning every planet into a ghost planet, which is pretty ludicrous. Looks like most planets are still building stuff, except Jurassic World. I don't know. I'll have to look at that first recording. I don't know. I can't remember if that's the one I clicked on or not. I didn't click on all of them. I just checked one of the recordings. I'd hate to think that that first one got busted because that's where most of the most interesting stuff happened. But it's possible that it's just got weirded out or something. I don't know. Alright, so I'm going to put a economic star base on these guys and also use it to extend range just a little bit. Alright, so here's my other censorship. I guess I might want to put another one in that. There's not really anything in that corner that I need to see. Put it right on the border of Thalan. Oh, right here. Guard. Alright. Yeah, the homeworld's not being used for research or money, so I'll just pump up the morale. Not that I think that planet needs it, but just in case. So you can see the AI builds a lot of ships, but they like to, see like right now, see how I'm highlighting the ship? It says tiny, interceptor tiny. The AI does not focus on building large hulls. Like they like to build tiny little ships and they're just not very good. That's another flaw in the way they're set up. Like here's the Drengans. What do they have here? 2 ships in this fleet. Lasers, mass drivers. How about the Yor? They've got some ships. That is not intimidating at all. I guess they're trying to kill the pirates that are moving around. The Durantium refineries I don't think are really that good, honestly. I believe that Twitch saves all the files. What the heck? Just moved something there. What was that? I just saw an AI ship. Oh, it was a trade ship. Never mind. I was like, what the heck is that? They just moved a ship into my colony, but it was a trade ship. That's why they did that. So they established a trade route. Alright, so we finished that. Where do we want to go next? Maybe we should actually start researching some military tech now that we've got all this research. It might not be the worst idea. I mean, do we really need to go to like tier 4 factories and tier 4 research labs? I'm not sure that we need to do that. Makes laboratories more efficient and boosts research. I don't know what these things do. Coordination center. Not sure. I guess that's just if we want even more research. Alright, we're probably getting to the point where that's not that necessary. How close are we to the population cap on these planets? Still not that close. Dirty Tech's about the only one who's getting close to the pop cap. See how the pop cap's 13? We will need to increase that, but most of the planets are not too close to that yet. Because I'd want to grab the next tier of farm when we get that. Yeah, these techs would give me higher pop cap. Anyway, we can probably ignore that for the time being. So environmental adaptation gives us more terraforming. Universal soil, yeah. So these are ones that give extra tech. You know what? We're good on all this stuff. Let's stop microing the colonies. Let's actually start going for some weapon stuff, shall we? So that means going first of all. Oh wow, that's 10% capacity. That's kind of nice. I think that this is also unique to the Thalan stuff. Anyway, though, yeah. So we would need to get 0. Wait, do we not have this tech yet either? I don't think we do. Yeah, we don't have orbital manufacturing yet. Alright, so let's grab this as a very cheap tech. Out of these three, I think I want well, do I need logistics +5? Capacity +10 is pretty nice. We already get, alright. Let's just grab this and see where we go from there. I don't know, the unique ones, you only have enough infrastructure we can drive from Atlantis to Dirty Tech. I don't know, I don't know how they color stuff on the tech tree. That's a good question. I don't think that the purple ones are the unique ones. Like this Gravitonics, I'm pretty sure is unique to the Thalan tree. I don't know. I wish I knew more about how they color the tech tree. Yeah, we have not researched even one military tech yet under the warfare tree. We'll get that soon enough, but let's go for this first so we can build small holes. I at least need to get to 0G construction because that allows me to build medium holes. So let's barrel down this path of the tech tree for a minute or two. Please put more than an hour a day. The whole game together is best. Well, you know, it'll be there eventually. You don't want to load 20 videos at once because it gets overwhelming to people who would watch it. Alright, you are going to come down here and buff this starbase whenever it's done, which will be next turn. Okay. Alright, there we go. Oh yeah, I wanted to check my colonies real quick. The scroll to the top of the screen works. Okay, so these worlds are almost done with their mega factories. That's good to see. Research here. Wait, did we finish that thing that gives plus 50%? Yep. All right, so Hyperion Matrix gives the plus 50% bonus now. So this little world that has no research facilities at all is producing 67 beakers per turn. That's pretty ludicrous. And we're finishing up the last research institute here. There it is. There's the Hyperion Matrix. Plus 50% research on every world. That's pretty stupid. Pretty dumb. Alright, I can actually dial down manufacturing here because these things cost 67 manufacturing. There'll still all be one turn, even with that. Yep, this world here, 56 beakers. Alright, so this world is done. Can go back over to research. There we go, 86 beakers on this planet, on Atlantis. Pretty silly. Same thing here, Havana has nothing more to build. Back over, wow, Havana has a lot of research. Why does this one have so much? Oh, it's the ghost world, that's it. Plus 50%, geez, look at all those bonuses. That's pretty silly. Havana produces a surprising amount of research. I gotta get more labs on this world. Sorry if it's lagging a bit. Alright, so what do we build? We built the market center. Keep working on this. These things cost 45 manufacturing. Let's one turn these instead of 2 turns. There we go. Wait, don't they cost 45? Oh, we're at 44.9. Are you kidding me? Come on. Get stuck sometimes. This is why I always put it one more. Like, I put it on 46 just so I know that I've got enough. Alright, there we go. So those are one-turn builds. Alright. Research. Mega Factory. Alright. How much money are we losing? That's fine. Yeah, the Thalans are pretty stupid. I just don't know what these ships are doing around here. I mean, if I see transports, then I have to worry. But if they don't have transports, there's not much I have to be concerned about. Alright, let's see. What do we... So we got a United Planets meeting. Let's see. The Thalans will... Well, not the Thalans. The Iconians should vote for me. Then they have 20% of the vote. Because we're basically allied with each other. The Yor don't like me, but they only have 11% of the vote. The Drangans don't like me either. Actually, I guess they kind of do. We're at warm relations. They only have 16%. No, it'd be nice if it told me how much of the vote I have. I can figure that out. So that's 31. So I have over 50% of the vote by myself, so I can just pick whatever I want here. 10% approval bonus. Players cannot colonize planets and other players. Wars are ended and cannot be declared. No way. How about this? 50% bonus to influence. That will be me. So I will pick that and I will take that. Thank you for voting for me, Iconia. Again, is another issue with the stupid interface in this game. We can't see who the Yor voted for or the Drengen. I think the Drengens voted for the Yor. Is that a C or a D? I can't tell under the interface. But in any case, so now we get more influence for free. Alright, so we did get hull size small, and unlock this. We can boost the yield of our mining bases there. Alright, I want to get this tech. Have they fixed the overflow bug yet, where you queue stuff up ahead of time? I doubt they have. So we'll have to go to storage minimization and get a ridiculous amount of overflow from this. Actually, you know what? Let's avoid the overflow bug on research. So we're going to go weapon systems, weapon specialization. I don't care which one of these we get. These are all fine. If it takes targeting specialization, that's fine. I don't know. What are the AI ships packing? Hold on. What do I want to specialize in? Alright, so they've got, look at that, they've got shields on the Yor ships. See, they've got defense against lasers, so we should go for either missiles. You know what? I have never gone for the mass driver route. Let's go the mass driver route this game. Alright. So we'll go weapon systems, weapon specialization, kinetic weapons. So I've now queued up to go for kinetic weapons. Let's see how many techs we actually research next turn. These are all cheap techs. My involvement in this game was I looked at the design documents at a very early stage of development. I never played this game before release, and that was only for, well, I guess it was for a decent length of time. It was for about a year. This was when the game was in pre-alpha stage, before they built anything. Like I said, before there were any builds done. So I just gave them some feedback, and I did get paid for it. Like I said, at a very, very early stage of development. Alright. So that was kind of neat. I was curious about what this would look like when it finally was done. Alright, cool. So there's just enough room to get over there. Okay, so here's the question. Now, can I upgrade, boost the yield of the attached resources? Now, does that apply to the Xenoarchaeology Lab? I don't know. Let's find out. So I'm curious if that will boost the yield of my culture relic. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Well, kinetic weapons hit the hardest, but they have the shortest range. I just have never gone for them before, so let's just try it in this game. Yeah, they're the shortest range, but they do the most damage, is the trade-off. Generally, I've found that the AI likes to build a lot of mass driver defense, which is armor in this game. By the way, Haley can stop putting some of it into social manufacturing. Yeah, there we go. That's a lot of production right there. That's pretty good. Alright, so let's check the other planets, shall we? Alright, so the next turn we need to start doing the manufacturing capital here. Looks good. Alright, this planet needs to go over to research again. 116. How many beakers are we getting total? Yeah, we're still upgrading to research institutes here. Research, research, research. Building, upgrading to shopping center. We need research here too. Finally finished building all that stuff. Geez, 100 beakers from this planet too? God, this race is so ridiculous. Alright, so how many beakers are we getting right now? 631, that's pretty good. Well, design doc means that, okay, so the way that game development works is before anyone starts programming, they write up a whole bunch of documents planning what the game's going to be about. A lot of planning goes in the early stages, at least it should. I can't guarantee that everybody does it that way. And, you know, you want to make sure that you have the overall design largely fleshed out, okay, before you actually start programming anything. Anyway, so we research weapon systems, and targeting specialization, and kinetic weapons. We got 3 at once. We might have still gotten more overflow, I have no idea, because the game doesn't tell you how much the techs cost. All we know is how many beakers we're getting, and that it cost 1 turn. So let's keep going, shall we? I guess we're going to get range extension, because I can't pick one. Basically, if I queue up more than one tech at a time, I have to take the top option because the game is bugged in how overflow works. That's fine. Range bonus is probably not a bad thing anyway. Alright, so let's see. This one takes us to pulse cannons. That sounds good. Let's go up to a graviton thrower, shall we? We'll take that, queue that up, and then we'll go for this one. I guess we can just keep going for range. Let's just see how long it takes us to get to this one, graviton thrower, shall we? I'll just queue that up and see how long it takes to get there. Anyway, so yeah, Thalan has now built all of its mega factories. We're going to destroy this and put our manufacturing capital right here. And that'll be rather absurd. Also, we don't need to put... We'll just go 100% social now. Or 100% social. Build the manufacturing capital as quickly as possible. And that will be one turn, apparently. Miniaturization always the best one? Probably. But at this point, does it really matter? The game's not that competitive. Still, that's a fair point. I think that it's... I don't know. It's usually a good option just because you can fit more stuff on your ships. Alright, so here we want to put down planetary soil, which only costs 30 manufacturing. And then we're going to put the financial center right there. Research. Alright. This game's only slightly less bugged than Final Fantasy. No, this game is still... It still feels like it's not done yet, which is funny because it's been out for a while now, but it definitely doesn't feel like it's done yet. Alright, let's finish with the 0G scaling, then I'm going to go for a Starbase Lab. Alright, oh, we've got more constructors, don't we? Let's see. So I wanted to see if this boosts the yield of the resource. Because, like, I know it will boost the yield of the thulium and the durantium, but I don't know if it'll boost the culture relic. I think it does not, just off the top of my head, but I guess we'll see. Alright, so you get down here and keep improving this starbase. So, yeah, we can basically see everything on the map. Censorships are in pretty good shape. Where's the one that's still moving down here? Yeah, this one will cover, like, this last corner of the map. So, what are the Drengen building? Alright, so the Drengen are going missiles right now. Interesting. Drengen are going missiles. Yours look like they're going a mixture of lasers and mass drivers. It looks like missiles would not be the way to go right now. No one seems to be packing armor, though, so that's good. And I will need to start building some stuff soon. Alright, so what do we get? We got kinetic range extension. Alright, so we only got 1.5 techs that time. Just going to go for these graviton throwers. And then once we have them, we can start designing some... Well, we're going to need to get some hull space, and then after that we can design ships. Whoa, did it build the... Okay, it built the manufacturing capital in one turn. That's kind of silly. Okay. Why aren't I using double constructors? Good question. Largely because these move a lot faster. And again, remember, I'm only doing this because there's just nothing to build on these 400. That's pretty good. 406 military. Like, I don't even really want these. It's just because I can't build anything else is the main thing. That's the only reason I'm really building this stuff. I don't have any ships at the moment. So yeah, these ones are fast. They have 12 moves. They wouldn't be able to move as fast otherwise. Alright, so let's get that financial center. How much money do I need to balance the budget? Okay, 8, I can afford 18. What is it at right now? 54, so go down to like 36. There we go. Alright, I'll put it at 45 manufacturing. Let's see how many turns this is going to take then. 6 turns, that's not bad. Not bad at all. Alright, so Thalan is good. It's building ships. Research. I'm not missing anything here, am I? No, research. Oh yeah, this planet, that's right. Almost done. Research. Money, research. Alright, there we go. Yeah, I'm getting anxious to be able to build actual ships. Starbase Lab. There we go. Is this going through? I'm not sure what that means. I hope that Twitch didn't eat some of the chat. Tensions have been reduced. Oh, okay. Good. Yay. Tensions have been reduced thanks to the open border treaty that you signed. Alright, so we finished that. Pulse cannon. Now we have this. Probably should have gone for the cheaper... Probably should have gone for the low-cost accelerator, but whatever. It's alright. As I said, we're just queuing up overflow right now. How many beakers are we getting, by the way? 600. Not too shabby. Alright. Recreation Center, Orbital Resort. Look at my culture. My influence just swallowed up all these star bases the AI put down. Like, influence victory I'm getting close to, and I'm not even trying to go for an influence victory. Just swallowing up their swallowing everything up with culture anyway. Anyway, boy, more constructors. Jeez, getting tired of these constructors. Anyway. So, let's see. Did we finish that? Yes, we did. It still says 2 more turns. Boy, this is an expensive tech. Well, I guess it's pretty far into the tree. We're like, look how deeply we've gone into the tree for a really nice kinetic weapon. Add a graviton accelerator. Oh, is that what you... Oh, you can put that onto a... So this is something you can put on a star base, and then it'll add more damage to it. Like, this is overkill. We definitely do not need a weapon this strong to defeat the AI, but it's fun. Orbital Resort. And then we're just about out of stuff to put on this starbase too. But there's not much else to do, so... Alright, what do I want here? Starbase Lab. Alright. Let me check my planets real quick. Homeworld, building ships, research. This planet can go over... Oh boy. Oh jeez. Dirty Tech's at 190 beakers per turn. That's not bad. That is not bad at all. Deed of Worms. Wait, why is it getting some manufacturing in? Oh, it's getting manufacturing so it can do the 1% cultural festival. Why is it at net income? Oh, because tourism. Okay. Huh. Research. Financial capital being built. More research. Okay. So it says 2 turns. I wonder if we'll act... Wow, 825. I wonder if we'll actually get this next turn, though. The bar graphs are not always accurate. Not quite enough. Look at that. So we're going to get a ton of overflow. I think you broke the game on a conceptual level. Well, yeah, maybe so. It just feels weird to be playing on high difficulty and have the game be this easy. Like, that feels like that shouldn't be happening. Like, if you want to look at the bar graphs real quick... So, like, here's faction power. The game still isn't rating me that high in faction power, but that's because I don't have any military at all. Like, I have 0 military. So, once I actually... Yeah, like, look at population. It's just crippled the AI. I don't know why my influence isn't growing either. I don't know. It certainly feels like it's pretty dominant. Can you tell... Okay, so can you tell when I first built the hives? Here's where I got the hives, and here's where I built that thing that added, was it the Gaia Vortex? You can tell right when I built them. Here's military manufacturing and research. Yeah. It's not much of a competition, let's just put it that way. So we're about to start building stuff, building military stuff, and once that happens, it's pretty much game over. Alright, I'll finish filling out this starbase because there's not much else to do. The AI did a, yeah, it's like a mixture of the fact that the AI did a terrible job of land grabbing, plus the fact that this Thalan tech tree is ludicrously overpowered. It's a mixture of those two things, definitely. I really wish that I'd finished the graviton thrower. That would have been nice, instead of having to wait one more turn. Because now I'm going to get a ridiculous amount of overflow again, and probably be able to burn through like 3 or 4 techs in one turn. So yeah, the Yor are fighting the pirates up here. That's what they're... Are these more pirate ships? Yeah. So they've been clashing with the pirates. We'll clear out the pirates as soon as we actually build stuff. Alright, so now we've got a very good weapon. This is like the tier 4 mass driver. Something like that. But in order to do anything, we're going to have to... What's it called? We're going to have to get more hull size. So out of these 3, I definitely want storage maximization. The problem is I have so much overflow, I can't really get this. Because I want to grab a whole bunch of... Like, I really would like the 10% hull capacity, but... If I want to grab more than 1 tech in a turn, I have to take the top one, which is silly, but that's the way it is. Alright, so whatever. Go for this. Large-scale construction. Large hulls. What are the options here? Hull reinforcement, manufacturing cost. Yeah, you pretty much always want more capacity, because then you can put more stuff on ships, but we'll just speed through real quickly. I have so much overflow, I might be able to get 3 or 4 techs. The influence growth is influence growth per turn? Maybe. That would make sense. Still kind of weird though. Alright. Alright, that works. Now I can basically see all of Drengen space. Guard. Alright, so yeah, we can now see the whole, like, basically the whole galaxy map. There's like a few little patches here and there, but let's be honest, we can see the whole map. Nothing gets by without us seeing it. Alright, is this the last upgrade here? Because I'm tired of building these constructors. I want to build some actual military ships. I should be able to design one next turn. Or barring that, maybe one more turn. Alright. I don't know, you can go and... I don't know. Upgrade the defenses at this starbase or something. I don't know, something like that. Not a whole lot for this to do. Yeah, this game's very much over. This game's been over from the beginning stages. Hasn't really been a contested game. It's been fun to play, but it hasn't been especially close or anything like that. Alright, let's see how many techs I get here. I'm kind of curious how many I'm going to get. Now look at that, the Drengen are fighting the pirates over there. Killed that ship. Didn't kill the shipyard, though. So we grabbed 3 techs. We got this one, and 0 gravity constructions, that's medium hulls, and then this one, hit points plus 15%. So let's grab this. I guess we have to grab this tech first. By the way, we're not going carriers. Carriers are really overpowered and broken. We'll stick to normal ships. Alright, so we need one more turn. We need to be able to build large hulls. Units do not get combat experience. That's a good question. Not in this game. Alright, let me just check my colonies again. Research, 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 research. A lot of researching going on. Oh, we finished the manufacturing capital. Cool. Or not manufacturing, financial capital. Okay, so this planet will now just go to wealth, and wow. Okay, well, we never have to worry about money again, guys. That's Yeah, we don't have to worry about money. Put on economic stimulus and put 1 per... Where is it? 1. There we go. Oh, come on. Alright, so yeah. So much for having to worry about money. So now our income is 155 per turn. Yeah, like I said, you don't need to build a lot of planets and put them on wealth in this game. Just 1 planet on wealth is plenty. Alright, give me... Oh, upgrade the mining barracks, I guess. Get more resources, not that we need them. I don't know. The carriers will launch fighters, like little interceptor fighters. I honestly actually have not used them personally, but everyone has said that they're extremely overpowered. And I take people's word, because people said the Thalan tech tree was overpowered, and this is the first time I've had a chance to see that. So it certainly looks like it. I don't really know what else to do. Put down a starbase near Drengen territory, I guess, so that we can have the range. I could send this guy down here so that we have the range to invade these guys later, which it's like, look, right now they're out of my range by just a little bit. That was the word, though, that they're kind of overpowered. So we'll get large-scale construction here, and now it's time to design a warship, and then we'll just start cranking these babies out, and then we'll just go take what we want. I could continue upgrading my colonies further, but they're already so strong, there's not much point in doing that. Alright, so we got large hull size, excuse me. Alright, next up I'm going to need invasion tech, so let's grab that. Planetary invasion. So we got to start heading down that route. And we definitely want the first one enhanced. We don't care about planetary defense or resistance, we're not going to be defending. Let's see how far we get there. Alright, but it's time to do designer. Alright, new design. So we want large hull size. What do we want? Which one of these looks cool? This one works for me. Alright, so what do we want to put on here? Graviton drivers. Kinetic attack 6. Oh, wow, we can fit a lot of these. Oh, wow. We can fit a lot of these on here. That would be attack 48, jeez. I don't know if we need quite that many, though. We are going to want some engines. 9 moves, that sounds pretty good. And let's put 1 long-range thingamadoodle. Environmental support. Alright, there we go. So that's 104 out of 105. So 42 attack, that's pretty good. 300 HP. 20, look at that, 300 HP. And that works for me. So what are these called? Graviton drivers. Alright. How many moves do we have? 9, that's a good number. You want to have the ability to move pretty quickly. Alright, so Graviton 9. Alright. And enough range that we don't have to care. Just slapped on that range thing at the end. Alright, so who cares about the stupid AI stuff? Alright, so be done with your constructors. Now just auto-build these. So they're not cheap to build, 764 manufacturing costs, but Thala, as you see, has... Wait, where's the shipyard? That'll show it better. Yeah, the shipyard builds 420 per turn, or something like that. So it can build them every 2 turns. And we actually have a lot of overflow, so we should build one right away. We've actually been getting a ton of overflow, because these constructors only cost 130, and we've been getting all kinds of overflow the whole time. Oops. I wanted to just auto-build these. So this planet doesn't have quite as much, only 268. Not quite as ludicrously strong. Well, it feels like maybe it should be higher than that. Do I have this set up right? Yep, alright, I do. Okay. Even with all these factories, it's not quite as much. Probably because it's not the capital. Something like that. No, we're not going to get to enjoy the surrender mechanics, because I'm just going to take all their planets the same turn when I attack. So we won't have to worry about that. And then we will need to build some transport ships, is the other thing. I'll save this constructor as well in case I need to expand range, which I probably will at some point. Starbase defense system. Yeah, there we go. So I'll save this constructor too. Just keep it down here in case I need to well, as I said, extend range. I don't think I will, because like your planet's already in range, but you never know. It's always helpful to have just like it's helpful to have a worker around in civilization games. It's helpful to have constructors just hanging out for the same reason in Galactic Civ. You never know when you might want to toss down a starbase for more range or something like that. Nope, no defense. I'm fine with that. We're just going to try to kill them as quickly as possible. You're right, though. Building some defense would not have been a bad idea. That way they don't take as much damage. In fact, if you're up against weak opponents, you don't take hardly any damage at all because they can't get through your defenses. Oh, look at that, a starbase. But one of the Thalan racial bonuses is we didn't even build a medium hull. We just went straight to a large hull. All right, so as expected, we built some of these. Now my income will start to decline because these ships are very expensive. And I should have moved the shipyard one tile over because it's really annoying where these ships pop out. Anyway, though, might as well start grouping them. I think we'll hit the Yor first, just why not? So did we finish? So we finished militarization, and we finished enhanced. Wow, picked up 2 techs again. All right, so now it's time to go for planetary invasion, so we can build transports. Yeah, we'll go for planetary invasion. And we want information warfare is, I think, the best of those 3 options. But yeah, you can't invade without being able to do this. And we'll just grab the stuff that increases attack value up there. Oh, okay, so one of the other reasons why I couldn't go for defense is I didn't research any of them yet. Whoops. Oh well, that's fine. We probably won't need too much in the way of defense. I haven't been streaming too long. So yeah, planetary invasion followed by information warfare. See if that works, or if we get more weird overflow stuff. Anyway, so as expected, we finished ships right away. Let me get a couple of these. I don't want to just send one of these ships out, even though I could probably kill the pirates without too much trouble. Yeah, they only have 36. Well, let me get 2, and then I'll kill them from there. At least group 2 of them together, not 1. Or I could let the Yor do some of the work for me. Helpful dust. Shipyards are more efficient. Plus 20% military spending. Okay, works for me. Size and speed of a cruiser, the armament of a battleship, and the armor of a fishing vessel. That's true. Alright, so how many can I fit together? Alright, so my capacity is only 16. I need to increase that. So I can only stick 2 of these together right now. Let's fix that. Wow, we researched planetary invasion and information. Jesus Christ. Alright, so now we want to increase capacity so we can stack more of these together. That's in the exploration tree. So here we go, interstellar logistics. This gives us plus 10. Wow. That's a big increase. And then this is another plus 10. So let's grab this stuff. Mining plus 1, more logistics. Alright, well let's grab this. Interstellar logistics plus 10, logistics plus 5, and it will take the, it always defaults to the top option. And then this, that's another logistics plus 10. So we'll just grab these 3 real quickly. And that'll take us from, what, 16 to 41, and that'll make a difference. Anyway, though, let's deal with the pirates, shall we? Let's field test these little babies. So, let's zoom in here. I know I play the game zoomed out. You kind of have to. So here's my battle cruisers. 600 HP, 84 attack combined. These have 4 attack. And a lot of missile defense, but that's pointless because I'm not going to be firing missiles. Let's see. Well, that didn't last long. They did 2 damage with each shot. But yeah, these ships, because they have no shielding or armor or anything, they will take damage. Again, one of the facial racial abilities, though, is that they heal very quickly. Or faster than others do. Anyway, let's take this out, shall we? We'll take some damage doing this, but we should still win. Like, they don't have much in the way of attack. Alright, let's watch, shall we? I do wish I had some kind of defense. Maybe we'll research defenses next and then upgrade this design to have some defenses. Alright, so first we've got to peel off their armor. See, we removed all their armor first. And now their little shipyard's taking it on the chin. They keep going after one of the ships. It's taking all the damage. Alright, that should do it. Oh, they actually did a fair amount of damage. Yeah, we do need to get some defenses, because we can't afford to be taking that much damage in every battle. That's more damage than I wanted to take. Alright. So yeah, heavy attack, but no defense. No defense at all. These pirates, so we'll use this fleet to clean up these pirates, and then the one ship that was damaged is going to have to heal. So I think the next thing we're going to do is research defensive tech, and then I can reconfigure this, you just guard here. Reconfigure this setup to have some actual defenses after that. Yeah, absolutely. Alright, where is this? Sydney Starbase. Where is this? Oh, here. Yeah, Economic Starbase. Okay. Yeah, I should probably research some kind of defenses. Just give it some light protection against enemy attack. That would be a good idea. Yeah, especially because the kinetic weapons have such a small range. Oh, wow. Like I said, it's not like we're in any serious danger here. Alright, so what text did we get? Alright, we picked up interstellar logistics and advanced logistics there, so we just improved our capacity. So let's... Wow. Yep. Let's just grab more logistics. This will take us up to 51. That's about as much as we can get for now. I think World War II era ships. Yeah, I can see that. Alright, so... Come on over here. There we go. 21 out of 31. So each one of these ships costs 7. So we'll be able to put up to 7 of them together. Ooh, 7 of these together in a fleet. Once I finish researching these techs, that's not bad at all. Alright, I also need to start... Let's build this. Alright, I'm going to let this finish, and then I'm going to build... Actually, I need to design a transport ship. I do need some transports, because I'm going to have to hit... I have to take these planets over. Okay, new design. Cargo. Colony transport. Alright, here we go. Okay, so the transports, we want to put a transport module on them. Allows you to carry soldiers. I'll put 2 of them on there. And then the main thing we want is range, and then as much speed as we can manage. 9 moves. How close am I to being able to fit one of these on? Almost. Man, see, this is where if I had taken some of the capacity increases instead of foolishly researching because of overflow, I could fit this extra ion drive and get 12 moves, but instead I'll just put the hyperdrive on and we'll get 10 moves, which should be okay. Alright, transport 10. And then we'll have to start loading up some population. I'll have to pull some population from some of my worlds to do this. Probably Jurassic World and Arnhelm will grab population because they're close to they're close down here. And Arnhelm, I hate to say, Arnhelm is not an especially great world. It's a little planet. I can suck like 3 pop out of both of these to hit the Yor and get 6 million over there. You'll see how easy it is to invade if you haven't seen that before. All right, yeah. So we want to take out these pirates here. So there's their lasers. We do kill their ships really fast, don't get me wrong. It's just we take damage in the process. This is like such a glass cannon ship right now. Only 12 damage, that's not bad. So much for that group. Alright, there's another pirates down to the south. We'll work on them next. So the one ship is still at 100% health. The other ship is at 214 out of 300. The AI is pretty smart about that in this game. Like, they will always go after the low HP targets, which is good. Anyway, actually, no, I think that's it. I don't see any more pirates. I thought there was another group down there, but I think I was looking at these star bases that the Iconia put there. So what that means is you might as well move over here and heal up while we're, might as well move up to Arnhelm, which is close to the front lines, and heal up in there. Oh, we have a trade offer. That's interesting. They want Durantium for 475. They want me to sell them Durantium for 475. No. Sorry. It's actually not a bad deal, but I don't want an active deal with them when I go to war, which I'm planning on doing soon. Alright. I think I already moved these guys. The invasion mechanic, basically what people have told me is that the numbers that you see on the screen for the invasion mechanic just don't, like, are not accurate. That's what I've heard. That the numbers that they show on there just are not accurate. So yeah, that's what I've heard. I don't know what else to say other than that. Alright. No, guard. There we go. Command, guard. Alright, so these guys are just sitting around. Alright, we got logistics plus 10. Deep space logistics. I don't know if we even need this many logistics. We probably don't. So what's our logistics cap right now? Hold on. I'm curious if I need to grab another one. So right now it's 41, but see, I do want to go higher because right now I can stack 5 ships, but then I'd be at 35 out of 41. And if I increase it, I can go to 7 ships, so we might as well do that. Just grab that one more deep space logistics tech, why not? Anyway, and over here, we built another ship, so let's cancel this for the moment and let's build some transports. And I need to build 3 of these. Why 3? Because there's 3 planets we're going to hit. 1 Yor, 2 Drangan. So we need, no, hold on, we're going to need 4, because the Drangans apparently also took that ideology that gives them an extra planet. I guess. I don't know how else they got a class 17 planet. Interesting. Yeah, they must have gotten one, because that planet was not there before. They must have gotten it from, one of those ideology policies. Alright, so let's build 2 transports here, and I'll get 2 out of the capital as well. And then we'll do some population management from there. Alright, so I've got... Actually, if I combined all my ships together, I have enough for 1 fleet right now. Because I've got 3 here, and then 4 over here. Now, have these ships moved already this turn? No, yes, they have. Okay. So, I've got like 1 fleet already. A stack of 7. I'd like to have 2. Generally, I found you don't want to have just 1 stack of ships. It's useful to have 2. Because otherwise, you're kind of limited in your mobility. But really, all I need to do is just race in and hit Iconia and kill them instantly, because they only have 1 planet, which makes this really easy. So at this point, it's just going to be a matter of moving down there with transports, and then they will die, and that's that. So again, I could invest more in infrastructure, but there's not much of a point. All I have to do is just invade and the game's over. Anyway, so let's cancel these initially, and then we'll decide what to do from there. Well, we have enough for another ideology policy. Cool. Now, I wanted to grab this one. Each existing colony receives 1 additional tile. En route to this one, grants a free class 16 planet. I don't know if we're ever going to get there, though, because it'll take 60... Here, hold on, we'll grab this one, but it's going to take 60 points, and we don't have any more to spend. So that means we can do some homeworld stuff. I guess we don't get to pick where the... we don't get to pick where the stuff pops up. Anyway, so we don't control where the terraforming happens, but we did get an extra tile on every planet, which means it really helps on worlds like this. Baba Yetu can probably use a research lab more than anything else. it's just doing research now. Alright. Oh, and McFly definitely wants a research thingy there. Now, you know what, screw it, let's put the technology capital here, because why not? It'll make this planet a lot stronger. Not the greatest choice, but this game's not going to go that much longer anyway. On this one, now why couldn't you have put it over, why couldn't you have grabbed one of these tiles? Anyway, get a research lab. Ah! I did not mean to click there at the end. Okay. What did we get here? A Deed of Worms. I guess we'll just put a research lab here too. Why not? Actually, you just go full out, because you're going to have to do that next turn anyway. The Hive definitely has been very abusive. Wow, that's a weird place for one. Oh, we actually get a research bonus by being next to that, so that's kind of cool. Atlantis, Havana. Wow. Of all the tiles to pick, why that one? Like, look at this planet. Havana has such a weird tile layout. Very, very unusual. And Moneybin... I guess Moneybin wants another market center. I can't think what else we'd want here. Tourism? I don't think so. Tourism doesn't really do that much. Tourism income is 3. Oh, wow. Goody. And another market. Why not? Oh, yeah, that's right. This planet's different. It's the only one that runs money. Arnhelm, I guess, wants a research lab. Why not? And I'm doing this so that they all build them in one turn. This planet... Sure. Down a research lab, why not? I could, you know, I could actually invest in more terraforming. I just don't want to take the time to do all that stuff. Because it does take time to micro all this stuff. Yeah, benevolent policy in the midst of preparing a brutal invasion for us. That's absolutely right. Alright, so you get an arm helm and heal in there. Or at least heal until we're ready to attack, which won't be much longer. It's mostly a matter of moving the transports over. And we'll see about that your fleet. I might have to take them out too. I don't know what they're doing in my territory. But the AI always moves random stuff around. Maybe I'll keep this split up into 2 smaller fleets just for the extra flexibility. Anyway, the main thing now is so I don't forget that I move these ships out of the shipyard. Alright, I don't want Haley to spend much pop, so I'll do the minimum here. Hey, remember, Haley's the one that's building building ships. So I'm going to move this over to Jurassic World and grab some pop out of Jurassic World and Arnhelm to service this invasion fleet. I think I'm also going to grab some out of Havana. And the next one I'll grab from Havana and Moneybin. Meanwhile, there's another transport over here that I'm not going to use until the Drengen War. So same thing, I don't want to pull much out of the capital. Let's see, where else can I pull pop from? Baba Yetu is a good target to have some population stolen from. Because Baba Yetu is a relatively weak planet. And it's actually at the growth cap too. So we'll pull the max out of Baba Yetu, I think. And then I'll probably pull some from McFly as well. It's close to the cap too. Anyway, can you change ships that are already built? Yes, you can upgrade ships that are already built into other ships. So yes, you can change ships that are already built. That's a good question. Look at the yours sending more stuff into my territory. Alright, so we've got more transports. I'll do them at the end of the turn again. And we finished that. We finished the deep space logistics, so that covers that. Next up, this is all military stuff up here. Oh wait, no, a lot of this stuff is starbase stuff that you can add to star bases. Increases the hit points of ships built on this planet. Allows the ship to repair itself in battle. That's kind of interesting. Slowly repairs all ship and fleet when in battle. That's kind of cool. I've never tried one of those before. I don't know, I kind of want to experiment with this. Repairs all ship and fleet when in battle. Yeah. Yeah, let's get 1 or 2 of these. That would be kind of cool. Costs thulium, but that's fine. I've got thulium to spare. I want to test that out. Let's go for that. I don't know what this is going to do, but I'm curious. I want to see. Because that would be a way. Like, I just need like 1 of those in each fleet. Interesting. Yeah, I could go for defense, but I know what that does. I want to experiment and see what this other stuff does. Because I don't know what this stuff does yet. Alright, so here's... Always forget that. Alright. Here's the ships. This one's at 220 out of 300. And we've got... Oh yeah, we've got more transports ready to go. Okay, so which planet do we want to take most of this from? Jurassic World or Arnhem? Let's take 2.5 from Jurassic World and then 3 million from Arnhem. Alright. Where is this? Oh, it's can't move. Alright, so it's out of moves. We'll grab it next turn. In fact, we can probably attack pretty soon here. All we're going to need to do is slip in and kill the Your Homeworld. That's it. That's not a very hard task. Alright, so there's another transport here. So don't take it out of Haley. We'll take a little bit from Money Bin and then take the rest from Havana. Alright. So, hold on. Alright, you... Alright, that's 2.5 from that planet, and then we'll take the rest from that world. Yeah, like if we were just being totally practical, it would almost certainly be better to research some defensive stuff, but as I said, that wouldn't be as entertaining. Alright, so yeah, a lot of planets, okay, a lot of planets finished stuff. So you upgrade this. Now we're going to upgrade, wait, I only need 45 for that. Let's not do crazy overkill. Baba yet to upgrade. This costs 45, so. Oh yeah, I'm building the technological capital at McFly. Dirty tech, upgrade that. Alright, that'll... I hate it when I click right at the end and it jumps to somewhere else. It goes back to the center. Alright, that's going to take 2 turns. Wait, actually, no, it'll only take 1 turn. I guess we got some overflow. Alright. Xeno Research Lab. Here we go. Havana, that bizarre spot way over there. Again, it's too bad you can't control where that 1 free extra tile goes, but still, having extra tiles is always a good thing. Alright, there we go. Again, do I really need to micro like this? Not really, but old habits die hard. Hard for me to play a game inefficiently, even when there's not really a need to do so. Alright, come on. There we go. It's good enough. And that covers every world. Okay.